Plastics United. Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Plastics United, our little broadcast series for the plastics industry worldwide. And we are looking into the markets and checking whether and how the companies are coping with this corona crisis throughout the world. Today, we are connected to the North American Association of the Plastics Industry. And I'm talking to Tony Radoszewski. He's president and CEO of this association. Hi, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Guido. Pleasure to be with you here.
First of all, I would like to start with a question. Where do we reach you? In your home office or in your usual office?
Well, no, in my home office. In fact, I like to say I have two offices. I have my kitchen office, which is where I am right now. And then I have my other office where my computers are. So I'm taking advantage of a little bit better lighting in the house.
Okay, that sounds great. I wish I had a kitchen office as well. So maybe I will have that in the future.
Very good.
Let's talk a little bit about the state or the condition that the North American plastics industry is in. Can you tell me a little bit about the situation right now?
Yeah, I can. It's kind of a what we call a mixed bag, where there's a number of our members who are extremely busy right now. In fact, a few of them are even in a sold-out situation. One of the things that was very good from the beginning is that a lot of our member companies were deemed as essential businesses by the federal and state governments here. So they were able to keep their operations going. And we represent close to 900 different companies here in the United States. So to have a fair number, a good percentage of them still operating at full or good capacity is quite beneficial. And the big reasons are, well, and you know this quite well, a lot of the applications that plastics find themselves in are essential for the well-being and health of the general population.
That is right, yes. And looking at the development of the corona crisis, we could say that after starting in China and then jumping over to Europe, the US has relatively lately been attacked by this virus. So I guess you had a little bit of time to prepare yourself for that. Could your companies or your members take advantage of that time frame?
Well, we did, even though we did have kind of a buffer as compared to China and Europe. The overall relative quickness was very apparent here, and also I think a lot of the state governors and also the federal government, President Trump and Vice President Pence, got involved very quickly to start preparing for it. So we did have an advantage, I think, over some of our colleagues around the world. But having said that, what our members were able to do, and really it's quite a proud moment for us, is how quickly they were able to adapt to the new change, the new demand for certain products that they were making, or even in a situation where they weren't making, they were able to convert their manufacturing equipment to start producing so many of the personal protection equipment that's now required for the first line healthcare and first responders to help in this pandemic.
Yeah, got that. Well, of course, we are all hoping that this crisis will end very soon and that we will have overcome that in a few weeks, maybe months. But what are the technological topics that your members, that your companies within the plastics industry of North America are working on? So what will be maybe the next technological challenges for you to cope with once having finalized or overcome this crisis?
Well, whether it's regarding this particular crisis or just good business overall, our members have constantly been upgrading their technologies to be the most cost-effective manufacturing of the products that they make. There may be a little bit more focus on different product lines as we go forward that are going to be seen as more critical than they were in the past. But the resins that are being improved for processing, the equipment for processing, Of course, the constant focus on sustainability so that the products that we make are the most efficient and use the resources in the most wisest fashion are always top of mind for our members. And I think that instances like this just bring that need to the forefront, and we're able to respond to that. We were able to respond to it during this time, but I think it's going to be even better when the pressure is off a little bit, and we can really focus on fine-tuning the manufacturing process so that our members are able to respond to the demands that will be the pent-up demands that will most noticeably be happening once this is all said and done.
What are your expectations? When will you be able to come back to a, let's say, rather normal way of doing business?
Yeah, I think we have to put normal in quotation marks now, right? It's still quite fluid. Our offices are based in Washington, D.C., but I'm in my home office in Dallas, Texas, and because we can't go into the city right now. And I'm trying to watch it very closely. They're talking about the state of Virginia is talking about June 10th as the start opening. The state of Maryland, which is on the other side of Washington, D.C., has not given any date yet. So I'm talking with my team, we're kind of just focusing on perhaps July 1 as a date that we're trying to fix as a target that perhaps we'll be able to start getting back into our operations in the offices. Of course, our members, it's depending on what state you live in. As I mentioned before, with Virginia and Maryland sometime in June, here in Texas, the governor has already started opening up the state on a more earlier than other states, of course, but on a planned process. So, and part of it has to deal with, the population densities and where you are in the country. And Texas has not been hit nearly as hard as, say, New York and the Northeast area in Washington, D.C., for examples.
Okay. So, it sounds like the horizon is already in sight, and I keep my fingers crossed that we all carry on standing together and overcoming this crisis all together, because the plastics industry is a truly worldwide family, and it's good to hear that you are doing your best to overcome that. Tony, thank you so much for participating, and all the best. Stay healthy, and give my regards to all your colleagues.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow talking with another country within the plastics world family. And I hope you stay tuned and you spread the idea of Plastics United. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Stay healthy. Bye.